Okay, I should start the interview by saying thank you so much for finding the time to sit down and chat with me. My first question will go right back to the very beginning. So, how did both of your love of theatre begin?
Oh wow, the very, very beginning. Oh, that's amazing. Do you want to go first?
yeah, also I'm Pimprenelle.
Yes, I'm
Mhm.
Lydia.
Okay.
Um, yeah. Oh my God, what a
I
question.
know.
Okay, I think for me, it started, I was a dancer from a
Mhm.
young age, and I begged my mom for a whole year when I was two, to put me in dance class. And my mom was
So
like,
young.
okay, she's very serious about this.
Mm.
And then theater came about because my high school was doing a production of The Music Man, and they needed children from the town's elementary schools
Mhm.
to play the kids. And my friend on the playground was like singing this song. And I was like, what are you singing? I love to sing. And she taught me the song, and it was the song for the audition that day.
Mm.
So then I told my mom, like, I have to go audition because now I know the song. And I went to the audition. And the awkward part of the story is my friend didn't get in, but I did, the one who taught
Oh.
me the song. So I hold that guilt forever in my heart. But being in the Music Man, doing the 76 trombones, I changed my whole life.
Incredible.
Her
Yes, that's also how Leah Michelle got in Les Mis. Her friend was
and
auditioning,
I.
and then she
Oh.
auditioned with her friend, and she got in, and her
It's
friend
so
didn't.
awful, and
That's tough.
Mm.
but it's
That's awkward.
so like telling of what theater sometimes can be
Yes,
like.
yes. The
Yes.
So
stars
Yeah, yeah,
align or
yeah.
they don't.
yeah.
For me, it's a bit morbid, actually. My great uncle passed away when I was seven, and I, for some reason, 7 years old, gave a speech at his funeral for him.
Oh, wow.
And I afterwards I like got off the stage and my parents were like, "Man, that was really good. You should be a
Mm.
performer." And so I started doing theater based on that one speech that I gave at my grandpa's or my great uncle's funeral. And then the first play or musical I ever did, I auditioned when I was in elementary school, didn't get it, which
Mm.
whatever, I don't care. I don't think about it ever at
Yeah,
all
ever.
anymore. The first play that I was in was Annie, and I played an orphan that doesn't exist in the movie. It's fine, but I was the understudy for Annie, and yes, huge deal
Yeah.
as my first role ever. And I remember I had to fill in for the girl for one of the rehearsals, and it was one of the scenes where Annie has to cry. And I have always been able to cry on command. And so I did it in that rehearsal. And then I had to teach the girl who was playing Annie, who was a senior in high school, and I was in sixth grade, how to cry on command. And I was like, oh, okay, you. And that was kind of the beginning. That was the beginning of everything. And then I've just
Mm.
been doing it at every point since.
I
Yeah.
think those sort of unwritten characters are so important. I once played a cheese grater in Beauty and the Beast, which
Oh,
isn't in the script. It's
that's
not
amazing.
part of the
I played,
costume
I
package.
Yes, I played the woman who said, "I need six eggs."
Oh,
That,
nice.
yes, yes.
That is a both are critical roles,
It's
I
true.
think.
It's
Yeah.
true. The unnamed characters sometimes, like my character in Annie had a rat.
I once played the stomach part of the Cheshire Cat.
That's awesome. The biggest organ. That's awesome.
So obviously then skipping forward a little bit then. So how did you first find out about the last laugh? How did that sort of enter your realm of knowledge?
Yeah. So
It's a beautiful
it
story,
is a beautiful
really.
story. This time a year ago, the director of Last Laugh,
Hmm.
our friend Elena, wrote and directed this play that was going to be a part of a play festival here
Hmm.
in Brooklyn. And they auditioned a few people. We were the two to get it. Blessings, praise be. And it was a two-person play, kind of a very similar
Mm.
character arc to these people. And two best friends where there's something there, and you don't know what, but there's something there. And we did that play, and we kind of all fell in love with each other with Third Sister Entertainment, Kate and
Hmm.
Ibby, the sisters who are also producing this. And we became obsessed with each other kind of from the first rehearsal. And after that, we were texting every day, constantly being like, when's the next iteration of Next
Mm.
Nesting, which was that play, and all of that. And then flash forward to,
Flash forward to honestly receiving a text being like, what are you guys doing in August?
mm-hmm,
And we were like, oh my God,
Mm.
anything that you're doing, we'll
mm-hmm,
do it.
mm-hmm,
And it was really special because they just asked both of us to be a part of it.
mm-hmm,
And what was awesome about it was like it couldn't be just one of us. Like it had to be both of us
Yeah.
together because we have such like a wonderful chemistry
It's
and
true.
like a way of
It's true.
collaborating with each other. And so then it is honestly unbelievable. I still can't believe that it's happening.
I know. We even making our packing list, we're like, are we sure
Are we
going?
sure we're leaving like in a week?
And yes, and so yeah, Zoe Redlick is friends with Kate, who is producing it. And so they kind of, Zoe was saying last night in the opening, because we had our opening preview last night, she was saying that she started working on this show last September. Yeah, last September. And I cannot remember when they brought it to us. I want to say maybe like January or February.
Yeah.
And what was interesting about it was we weren't automatically going to be in it because both of us have never done improv in a professional / controlled
official
setting.
way.
We're talking all the time. We're constantly doing improv, but just not with the rules. And so it was a little bit of like, can you guys do this? And like Pip said, it was either both of us or none of us.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't know how to like be in a play with someone else at this point.
I get confused whenever I'm not with her on
literally. And so yeah, we had to take a improv intensive at UCB, and we kind of had to do a few read throughs where it was very casual because these people are already our friends and they do want us to be in it, but also they had to think critically and kind of take our relationship out of it and be like, well, improv actually is a huge part of it, and they're supposed to be playing seasoned improvers, and so we did kind of have to
prove ourselves.
improve ourselves.
Yeah.
And so that first show, was that the first time you guys had kind of crossed paths? Was that the first?
Too, yes.
Yeah.
That was,
wow.
and we didn't even meet in the audition. Like I did my callback, like chemistry read with someone else entirely, and then I showed up to the first rehearsal, and it was Lydia, and then boom. Like
the rest is history.
It kind of was just like boom.
Yeah, it really is. It truly was the rest is history. Yeah, I auditioned with other people in the room. Pimp's callback was over Zoom.
Yeah,
and we didn't know each other, know anything about each other. And when we did that first play, we'd only known each other for 2 weeks at that point.
Yes,
and everyone we had someone ask if we were childhood friends.
Like if we had known each other for like 10 plus years.
Yes.
And we were like, we met 2 weeks ago.
And there were a lot of people in that play festival, and we were just monsters in the green room.
Yeah,
monsters. Just doing handstands in the corner.
Like us.
It was not good.
It was kind of class clown to the extreme.
Yeah.
But I think that's where they thought our producers and our director and our writer were like, these people could do this improv thing.
Yeah.
Because you need a certain level of
trust,
willingness to be a little annoying, frankly, and down to clown.
And that sort of playfulness as well, the sort of being silly and not taking yourself too seriously.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think makes you two work as such a great pair? What was the thing that makes you work?
That's so hard to name, I think, because I feel like people talk a lot about chemistry and it's like an elusive sort of thing, but I think mostly for us, I feel it's just kind of that we trust each other so much, and that there's no like part of my mind or heart, like when we're on stage, that is ever going to doubt what's happening, because it's the two of us. And I just feel so safe. And also like Lydia is such like a generous person in all senses of the word, and like she's just so kind, and getting to work with someone who's kind before all else is so fortunate, and I'm so grateful for that.
Especially with those sort of improv elements, that's really, really important. You have someone you can trust, lean on, and you know has your back.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Same for me, where I think it's come to light so much in this past week, been doing it because the play has finally come together, and it has so much audience participation, and there's just so many moving parts with the improv, with the script, with the tech elements. But for us specifically, we love being on stage together, and we love, like, we keep talking about all these little secrets that we have in the show, where like there's a few moments that are kind of off stage, there are a few moments that are backstage, and our favorite thing to do is just act together and be on stage together. And specifically the act of playing in this, where we love to make each other laugh. We love
Mhm.
to, like, I was telling Pimp the other day, it takes so much of the nerves out of it doing it
Yeah.
with her, because all I'm trying to do is make her laugh. And all I'm trying to do is talk to her and connect with her, to where the rest of it in a show that is very audience heavy, it kind of doesn't matter in a way that is so, yeah, it's freeing and it's exciting, and it's just the spice of life. Like,
Yeah.
doing a show, especially a two-hander where it's just each other, I feel
Yeah.
so safe and excited to do it
Yeah.
every night.
It's
Yeah.
such a privilege.
It's such a privilege.
And it's so, yeah, like it's freeing because there's
Mhm.
nothing to worry about,
Mhm.
because nothing's going to be planned. Like,
Yes.
the person in the audience can just do whatever they want and you work around them. And
Yes.
I find that so fun.
It's so fun. And luckily we both love
Yeah.
that kind of, it is, I guess, technically improv, but just anything that goes wrong, we're very good at.
Yeah.
Okay, well, like,
Yeah. I love that.
It's so
I love
fun.
that.
It's because that's theater. That's the best part about theater, is anything could go wrong. Well, that's not the best part about theater, but it's one of the exciting parts about theater, is
Yeah.
that anything could go wrong at any point.
It's like at any point a cat can walk across the stage,
Yeah.
and that'll be infinitely more interesting than like the monologue you prepared for a month.
Absolutely.
And I love that about theater.
Me too. You have to, yeah. You're trained to, at a certain point when you are acting, you're trained to, anything that comes up, acknowledge it. If a glass breaks on the stage, don't try to sweep it under the rug and not acknowledge it, being like, oh no, that glass broke. And if it's Shakespeare, that glass has broketh. Like, you just have to do it and add it. And that's what's so nice about improv, is that you're allowed to acknowledge whatever you want, which is great.
So from being sort of plucked from that first show as the iconic duo, so what drew you to this project, Last Laugh in particular? What was it that you were like, right, I've got to get involved. This is something that excites me.
Mm-hmm. I remember specifically after it was a mix between an audition, a read through, like a read out loud of the script / chemistry read, whatever you want to call it. Nothing was official, but it was like, do you guys want to come over and read the script? We were talking about the idea of going to, on the way home, because we live very close to each other, and so I drive Pimp home every night, and so on the way home we were like, okay, can we do this? Can we take a month off of work? Can we, because it was up to us to confirm, and then for them to confirm of all the pieces coming together. And so we were like, it would be different if it was another piece, or if it was blah 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 blah. But we saw ourselves so much in this show, and also it's quite good, and it's very exciting to have a show that has so many different moving parts that require you to be completely present in a very fun way for an actor, where, like we were saying, anything could happen, and at the end of the day, it's just me and Pip talking to each other and talking to the audience in a way that is really, it's exciting and it's fun, and it's a very fun show to do over and over again, to do for 30 days in a row.
Yeah,
because it'll always be new.
I think also something that drew me to also I think like the fact that it's like a queer story. I mean, for me, and honestly for us, like, it always is going to be like something that I want to prioritize in my art. But also recently, I was really, even last night after the show, I was thinking a lot about how the play takes place at the end of the world, and it's kind of a imagining of the end of the world. And recently I've been feeling like the end of the world is right now, as we're living through this kind of climate disaster that has like intensified so much this summer. And like, especially living in New York City, we were like affected by the wildfires in Canada, and like watching what's going on even in Edinburgh and Spain and Algeria. And like, you know, how do I feel about the end of the world, and how does my character feel about the end of the world? And I think that we're very aligned in the, like, my character is very much like, if we're gonna go out, we better go out laughing. And Lydia's character is more like,
if we're gonna go out, we better go out feeling and loving and crying.
And I think that I learn a lot as Pimprenelle from that character, and like, let yourself feel what's happening right now, because it is very intense, and like, that's okay, because we have to live through it, and we still have to love each other through it. And I don't know if you could tell, but we're believers in love, like, to the max. And like, love is like a really powerful source of change and strength. And
That's
like,
true.
yeah, I just honestly find a lot of comfort in doing a show about the end of the world during a summer that feels like
Yeah.
the last summer of our lives.
And yeah, different ways to cope with the end of the world, and how
Yeah.
at the end of the day, the way that we cope with the end of the world is laughing and loving and
Mm.
spending time with the people that we love and
Yeah.
doing what we've
you
loved
love.
since we were born, which is performing and trying to specifically make people laugh and make people feel in love. And the other thing that I love about this show so much is I have such a fear of wasted time. I think that is such a scary concept to me, is the idea of getting to a certain point and being like, oh, I wasted all this time. And that's such a thing in these girls' relationships to each other in the show is, you know, the show is ending, the world is ending, and you're doing this show. What are the last things that you want to say? What is it that you wish you could have said your entire life? What is it that you wish you could have done your entire life now that the world is ending? And at the end of the day, it is going to be spending time with the people that you love and doing what is in your heart. And so that, I think, is so great. And it's such a great part of their relationship in the show. These two characters is the concept of wasted time and how it can be so, I just love how obvious it is in the show. I think that sometimes people need a very glaring, obvious, this is aliens, the end of the world, because we as people in the real life are experiencing the end of the world. So what do you want to do? And why is it laugh and love and do theater and go see a show?
Oh, totally. And obviously, you've mentioned throughout that there is a lot of improv in the show, but there are also scripted moments and, like you said, set props and things that have to work. So, how do you balance that sort of improv and scripted approach? How do you sort of combine those in your brain and then convey that to the audience?
Well, the combining is very interesting to me because something I've struggled with, not necessarily struggled, but that I've been really interested in is doing improv as another character. Because the way that I would do improv is very different from the way that B would do improv, the character I'm playing. And so that has been fascinating, where I have to turn off one part of my brain and turn on another part of my brain, and kind of, and of course, and also I'm fairly new to improv, but my character is not new to improv. And so that's another interesting element where I have to slow down, trust myself more, and be like, what would this character do in an improv setting? But in terms of, yeah, do you want to talk about improv versus script?
Yeah, it honestly is like for me, like a fun challenge. Like it's like you're balancing the fact that you're improvising as someone who has a ton of experience improvising, and also you're improvising as someone who's not you. Where I feel like in an improv setting, I don't know if you've ever done improv, but it kind of like strips you down to the barest version of yourself. Like I do think that it's extremely vulnerable, because whatever you come up with, it's like, okay, yeah, that is just like
that's on your brain,
what Pimprenelle is, or what Lydia is. And I think it's a fun challenge. And for like the scripted portions, it kind of like brings me back to like one of the first things they tell you about acting, which is that you're coming up with it in the moment. Like, you know, like even if you're Juliet, like you're coming up with, you know, oh, Romeo, like in that moment, like you have to think of it. And so doing the improv kind of primes you for that like experience. And so then it's easier to infuse that into the scripted portions. So it's like a fun, where it's like a challenge, but it also is extremely rewarding.
And it has been such a learning curve incorporating the audience now, because that has been, I think, the biggest shift in the past few weeks is it's improv and it's scripted, but in the beginning we really train the audience to interact with us. And so even when we get into the scripted portions where we're just talking to each other, sometimes the audience is talking with us. And like at one point we bring someone on stage and have them read, and then we break out into this argument, and then they have to go sit down, and I can't not acknowledge them as they're walking past me, because we're all in this room together. And so that has been a very, and not so much the improv, because when it's just up, for me at least, like when we're doing improv on stage, we can go into a scene and we can do that seamlessly, but the audience is still there and they still think that they're a part of it, and they're still reacting as if they're a part of it, which they have every right to. We told them to. And so it just has been a learning curve where it's like we're talking to each other, and then they're like, oh no, or there's certain parts. It just has been very interesting having this much of an audience participation when the play turns quite dramatic and quite scary, and they're still with us and they're still talking to us. So that has been, I think, a learning curve for me, is trying to find that balance of taking care of the audience and acknowledging that they're
Mm.
still there, but also locking in on what is happening and the circumstances that are at play. Because my instinct is to be like, love you to an audience member as
Yeah.
they're passing by me, but my character is like freaking out about the aliens, and so I have to be like, go sit down.
Mm.
It's interesting.
So
It
how?
keeps you extremely present.
Yeah, which is
Yeah,
great.
totally. How do you sort of prepare then for audience participation where they could do or say whatever is on their mind, whatever's going to come up, you then have to deal with it. So how do you prepare for those moments?
I think you don't prepare,
Yeah.
and
Mm.
that's the best part.
Yeah. You have to be on your toes at all times. And again, we
Yeah.
are learning that every single show. Last night we have to give my phone to a person in the audience to hold it so that I don't check the news. And this person, when I tried to ask for it back and he's just supposed to give it back, the person kept it and was like, no, you can't have your phone back. No. And I was like, oh no, I need my phone back. Pimprenelle literally on stage had to be like, just give her a phone, like in character, being like, just do it. It doesn't matter. And so things like that, where it is obstacles that you don't predict, which is so fun as a performer, and kind of the dream where it's like, well, we really are on an equal playing field where
Mm.
you don't know what's happening and now I don't know what's happening and we can figure it out together. Yeah. And then there was another thing I was going to say, but I forgot. So
It's okay. But obviously, on top of sort of improvising in character, the audience participation, I know there's also puppets involved with your show. So
yes.
all those sorts of theatrics and sort of the extras, does that add pressure to you two as performers to balance all those things and remember all this sort of set stuff that has to happen as well as being present, as you said?
Yeah, that's an interesting
Mm-hmm.
question. I think that as a performer, I think Lydia feels this way as well. I don't want to speak for her, is that I love being a jack of all trades. I
Mm.
don't believe in specializing. I don't believe in being a like classical actor or a
Mm.
comedic actor or like these like very strict labels that oftentimes people ask you like what kind of actor are you? What type of thing do you do? Where it's like I don't know because acting is just
Mm.
playing different people and people can be anything and all
Yeah.
things all at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's really for me fun to because also as an actor I have so many different experiences that I can bring. Like I have done puppet work and I have done like different physical comedy and I've also like studied some mime. So I've been really enjoying
Mm.
bringing that into like
Let's just say
my
really quick,
object work.
Pimp is a mime, a trained dancer, knows 4 languages, can
So-
play the viola, can play the piano, a full like the object work like you've never seen in terms of
Wow.
improv. Yeah, it's jack of all trades is not even near covering it
Mm.
to what Pimp has going on. I just want to say, okay, no, keep going.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's very kind.
Yes. I just have to
Yeah.
get that
So
out
it's for me, it's fun because it satisfies all these
Yeah.
different like
Mm.
cravings that I have.
Yeah.
And it's fun to juggle a million things. I think as a person, I'm like really into multitasking.
there.
Mhm.
And that's why I think I enjoy acting so much, is because acting is the ultimate form of multitasking
Mhm.
tasking.
Mhm.
And so I love it. I mean, and also like you mess up and you have to adapt to that. Like
Mhm.
last night, I kept I had like I was juggling like new blocking, new line changes, the audience member,
The props.
a prop, and I kept like doing something a little strange, but like afterwards people were like, I really like that part, and I was like, good.
Yeah, it really sets us in there. I think in terms of the props too, something that I find so nice about it, and yes, it is a lot to hold
Mm.
and keep track of, but it's also very tactile in a way that I really appreciate, where there are certain things that we have to grab at a certain time in order to lead us to this moment and this moment, which I really love because I love a to-do list. And so I love to be able to have a trash can and hold on to that. And that means that we're in this scene and I have to grab a lighter and I make sure that it really places us in a show where we're flying all over the place. And so I actually think it's a bit more grounding than it is overwhelming, where if I have this item, then I know I'm secure in this scene and I can kind of hold on to it and put my energy into it. And yeah, there's a lot going on, but actually I think the props are the
Mm.
least of our worries.
That's so true. The props are such like a grounding element. And like
Yeah.
I feel like you're so right that like every time I grab a prop, I'm like, actually slow down, take a breath. Something about the tactile,
Yeah.
like the to-do list.
Yeah, the
Totally.
to-do list. Yeah,
Totally.
especially in a show that's all over the place.
Yeah, I think I'm a big believer in that sort of scheduled fun sort of idea. You know, when people
Yeah.
go on holiday and they're like, right, this is our hour by hour itinerary. And I'm like, no, I want I want the times. I want, we got to do this. But after that, before the next thing, you kind of have that time to do your own relaxed fun or whatever you choose to
Exactly.
do. And I think that shows
Exactly.
what you're describing there is that kind of right. We have this moment, and then we have a bit of fun, we have play, and then we have to hit this moment to move on again.
Yes, it's very organized. I'm really impressed with Zoe's way of charting this journey and
Hmm.
allowing us to play in those certain improv scenes while also hitting the emotional beats, but also trusting the actors. And yeah, this whole entire arc that happens, and at a certain point it becomes fully scripted, yet it still is
Hmm.
that great flow of playing and seriousness. And yeah, exactly what you said. Mhm.
Hmm. And obviously the show has grown, and as you said, you've done previews, and that's because you are heading to the Edinburgh Fringe, and you had
Yeah.
that very exciting announcement fairly recently. So what was it like being informed that right, you are heading to one of the world's biggest theatre festivals?
It doesn't feel
It
real.
still doesn't feel
I
real.
don't think it'll feel real until the plane touches down.
Mhm.
Maybe. We're also really excited about the month-long sleepover. I think we've
Yeah.
been getting distracted about all of like us and our best friends living in a house together for a month. And I'm so excited. The show is brand new every night. And so
Mhm.
I think it's going to be such a fun show to do 30 times in a row and with all new people every single night that we get to interact with and point at and use and cry with
Mhm.
and everything like that. I'm also just so excited to go to Edinburgh, and we both have people that we know that are going to the Fringe Festival, and I've had so many people give me recommendations of things to see or people to meet, and I'm so excited to just kind of be in this town with a ton of other theater
Yeah.
people
Mhm.
and meeting
Meeting new people.
from all over the
Yeah.
world
Mhm.
and a giant summer camp and with each other and with our whole team I think is going to be so fun. And yeah, I can't wait to see a bunch
Mhm.
of shows and do this show every day. And yeah.
Someone
Yeah.
described to me the Edinburgh Fringe as like Disneyland for theatre kids, and I was like,
Woo!
oh, that is perfect.
Woo! I can't wait. Not really. I'm there. I'm excited. I'm so excited.
So how are you
Yeah.
preparing for that long, the very long journey for you guys, but even the
Yeah.
journey itself, for
Yeah.
the run of the show? How are you preparing? How are you getting ready?
In terms of logistics
Both, yeah,
or
yeah, logistics,
yeah.
personal. I've had people say that they visit psychics or they've been going to the
Oh,
gym and also rehearsals.
Should we be
I know
doing
that.
that? Should I have been going to a psychic? I
I
didn't
didn't
go
go
to
to
a
a psychic.
psychic.
I didn't go to a
I didn't
psychic.
go to a
Oh
psychic.
no. Oh
Oh God.
no.
Oh God.
Okay, we'll psychic each other.
Yeah.
What we've been doing, we've been rehearsing a lot.
Yeah.
We rehearse a lot.
We also are both involved in a lot of other things. So
Hmm.
Yeah.
it's been a little bit nerve-wracking to leave all of those projects for a month. So I think
Yeah.
that's kind of like Pimp is performing in a show on Friday. That is another
Wow.
Yeah.
show. I'm shooting my web series on Saturday and we leave on
Yeah.
Sunday. So we have kind of been um soft launching our leaving with our projects to be like,
Yes.
hey, we're going to be gone for the month. Here's everything you need to know about what we would do. Like, I'm
Hmm.
passing my producer role off to our production manager. And so I've been kind of working with her and being like, this is what I usually do on set. Cause my web series that I'm shooting, we're shooting the third episode when I'll be in Edinburgh. So it's a little nerve wracking of
It's
Hmm.
called
it's
Shrews
called Shrews on
on
YouTube.
YouTube.
Look
Check
it
it
up.
out.
Yes, look it up.
Nice.
And we've been shooting that insanely and kind of preparing for what it's going to be like when we're gone with these other projects that we're
Hmm.
in, while also devoting all of our time and energy to Last Laugh. So yeah.
Yeah. I think we're such multi-hyphenates and we're so involved in a lot of other things that
Mhm.
I don't even know if we've been prepping, which maybe, but I think it's fine. It'll be okay. Actually, I've just realized that I've been sleeping. I've been
Yes.
sleeping more than I usually do. I'm usually not sleeping very much, and I've been
Yes.
trying to sleep like 8 to 9 hours a night.
Yeah, this is great. So I sleep a lot
Hmm.
and Pimp doesn't sleep a lot, but Pimp has been sleeping a lot. And honestly, I've been going to bed later, taking care of business. So we're switching in a
Yeah.
great way, which is we're
Yeah.
preparing in different ways.
Again,
And
leaning on
I
each
have a
other.
subletter, so I have to move out of my room also at the same time. So that's how I'm preparing. I need to pack.
And me and my roommate Annika, who's not here right now, we're best friends. And so we've been spending a lot of time together because we're really gonna miss
Yes.
each other for the month. So
Wow.
we've been like really,
Hmm.
yeah. So that's
Oh.
kind of it's more
But we're gonna put psychic. Maybe we'll try using psychic.
and the gym.
The gym.
Yes.
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to
Psychic in
We
the
went to
gym.
yoga once together.
We did.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe
So that was pretty
And yeah, and honestly, like
awesome.
looking up we've been sending each other a lot of fun things to do in
Mm.
Edinburgh and different
Yeah.
cafes to go to.
The other day I
yoga
read
classes
I
and
just
stuff.
read the entire Wikipedia page on Scotland just in case.
Just in case. And I'm Scottish, so
Just
let's
because
go.
we're so kind of American.
Mm.
Well, I am not
Yeah,
American.
Pimprenelle's French. I don't know why.
But I'm not at all Scottish, so I wanted to be informed, and I wanted to
Mm.
be like a culturally aware tourist
Yes.
during our month
I'm
at
American
Fringe.
and Scottish, so we're kind of coming at it from exact opposite points of view.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
Fantastic.
So yeah.
So we are coming to the end of my questions, but I do have a couple more. So how
Yeah.
would you describe Last Laugh to someone who's never heard of it before?
funny, heartbreaking, beautiful,
Mhm.
out of this world.
Mm.
Yes. I would say two girls performing improv at the end of the world while an alien invasion is happening. Let's see what happens.
Totally. And if they do find that exciting, where can they get tickets and where can they stay up to date with both of you?
Yes, they can get tickets at lastlaughplay.com. And Last Laugh on Instagram as well. If you want to follow
Yes.
it, we're very active on Instagram. Our marketing people are fantastic. We're
Yes.
having so much fun
We're
because
having
we're
a lot
not
of
a
fun.
part of that process. And so every time we go on Instagram, we see a new picture of us and we love it. Or a new TikTok that we filmed months ago. We love it.
And we're at Zoo Playground, and it's at 9 p.m., which I guess for you guys is 21.
Yes.
Mhm.
2100.
Nice.
2100. And it's an hour-long show.
Mhm.
It'll be really fun.
Mhm.
Bring your friends, bring your lover, bring your almost lover.
Yeah, bring your almost lover because bring your crush or your friend that you might have feelings for. I'm serious, you guys. That's my piece of advice. Bring
Yeah.
your friend that you might have feelings for.
Nothing sort of ignites romance more than the end of the world and improv. So I think
Get it.
Exactly.
And we should really go on vacation together one of
No,
these days.
seriously, we
we'd
got
have a
to.
fab time.
And you guys are kind of wearing a similar shirt.
Yeah, what's up with
Yeah.
that?
Okay.
Obviously the show is also available on the Fringe website and the Fringe app. So I will drop all the links below so people can scroll down and click away. But my
Yes.
final question is for both of you. What advice do you have for young creatives looking to do what you guys do?
First of all, love y'all.
First of all, you can do it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's gonna be okay.
Mhm.
It's gonna be okay.
Mm.
Yeah. I think my advice is to do it in any
Mhm.
capacity that you can, and you will keep growing and you will keep. I think it's true where in the beginning, say yes to as many things as you can because you will find one person that you love in that group of people that you will work with again, and it will kind of grow and grow and grow. And if you are acting or performing in any capacity, then you're doing it. It doesn't matter what level, it doesn't matter with who, as long as you're feeling fulfilled and scratching that itch and you have that little feeling in your stomach, then that is all that matters in any at any level. The only thing that makes you an actor or performer is to act and perform. The rest is just blessings.
Make stuff with your friends.
Yeah.
Go out on the street, perform for people. You don't need permission.
You
really just like call your friend, call your childhood friend, give them an idea and just do it and see where it goes. And it doesn't have to be good. It doesn't have to be anything. It just has to be what you want to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Fantastic. So I said at the beginning, but I learned the same way. Thank you so much for taking the time out to sit down and chat with me. I'll obviously put the links in the comments below so people can scroll down and click away. And I obviously wish you both the best of luck at the Edinburgh Fringe, and I shall speak to you soon.